I don't know if it's because of Don's rant, but Evan Neal has apologized. So all's good now, right, Don?
No. Why would you think it's all good?
Well, he apologized.
So I told him I wouldn't accept the apology. Well, I told him. Said it on the air. Because you knew the apology was coming. The Giants are a buttoned-up organization. So you knew that they were going to demand an apology from him. I'm sure John Mara was red hot. I'm sure Pat Hanlon was not happy. So I knew the apology was going to come. But, guys, when using social media, having it written out, it sends the message like somebody did it for you or helped out. Maybe they didn't. But you know what? Why can't you just go to the podium? There was media availability today. He was at practice. He could have demanded to speak to the media and gave a heartfelt apology and explained things instead of issuing a statement. So I look at these statement apologies as just something the organization makes you do. So apology not accepted.
And the bottom line is he meant what he said when he said it. And I think when people apologize after this sort of thing, they're apologizing for the trouble they're in. They're really sorry because of the trouble they're in, and the organization pushed them to do that. Pat Hanlon has been with the Giants forever, and he knows what's right and what's wrong, and he probably right away went to work, and then I'm sure Dable and Shane were involved, and Mara as well. It's a dumb thing for the kid to say, and I don't even like to say kid. He's 24 years old. He's not 12. But I think Dable said today, a momentary lapse. No. It wasn't a momentary lapse. That's what he felt. And now I'm going to surprise both Don and Peter.
Oh, I'm excited to hear what this is.
I understand what he was saying, having been around athletes as much as I've been. They can't stand the fans that boo. Now, they say all the right things. Well, if I were them, I'd boo too. They hate it. Now, the burger flipping, the hot dog flipping, whatever. I mean, it's ignorant to say that. Ignorant.
Well,
because as Don said yesterday, there are doctors, there are car dealers, there are psychiatrists, there are attorneys, there are engineers that are sitting there. So why would you pigeonhole the people that are booing the people that flip burgers, who I'm sure that wasn't their life dream, but at least they're going out and earning a living. But I'm telling you, that's how a lot of athletes feel. And this guy obviously did not have the verbal dexterity to get around saying such an awful thing like that. But I think he speaks for a lot of people. I'm sure a lot of the players, I hear you, they don't want to be booed. They don't want to be booed.
You want a hot take here? I think I'm more annoyed with Dable than Neal.
How?
Well, Evan Neal, listen, did he mean what he said at the time? I'm sure he did. And should he be roasted for saying something just so offensive and unthoughtful and just ridiculous? Yes, he absolutely deserves everything he gets. But, unlike Don said yesterday, and I'm sure as he cools down, he'd even change his mind. Hey, don't apologize. I won't forgive you. With the right apology, I think everyone would forgive him. And more importantly than the apology, good play would make everyone forgive him. But why Dable would choose to do like this sort of sweeping it under the rug?
What do you want to do?
I'm shocked, first of all, that anyone told him. You mentioned Pat Hanlon. I'm shocked anyone thought it was a good idea for his apology to be one of those screenshots of the Notes app. That's a bad, lazy apology. I would just say, hey, dude, wait till tomorrow. If he was like, no, I want to put something up now on Twitter on my Notes app, I'd say, hey, stand in the heat. And tomorrow, go get on the microphone and talk to people. Don't screenshot the Notes app on your iPhone with a sort of half-hearted apology. That half-hearted apology is then followed by the head coach. The same head coach who made the decision to go after and embarrass his quarterback on national television. That guy now wants to go, hey, it's a mistake. It's water under the bridge. We're moving on to the next play. What? No, at least take a moment, Brian Dable, to point out this was an absolutely terrible thing to say to your fan base, and everyone here is ashamed of it, including Evan. But give it the gravitas it deserves.
It would be nice. I mean, I'm not going to put it at the level of what Neal did, but I just think he wants to move on because his team stinks, and they're probably going to lose the next two games by a combined 60 points. So he's got to move on, Peter. I mean, what else is he supposed to do? He doesn't need this fire to simmer any longer than it already has. So I get what you're saying, but I understand the strategy of, can we just please move on? It's Thursday. We got a game coming up on Sunday. We're a 10-point dog.
According to SNY's Twitter, he did speak in front of his locker today. He said he's remorseful for his words. Quote, coming from humble beginnings myself, I never want to belittle anyone, regardless of their financial status or their occupation.
But the flipping burgers and hot dogs thing was one thing, but calling us sheep, that was the one that really bothered me.
But Don, that's the dirty little secret. He's articulating what a lot of athletes feel. The athletes are going, you can't do what I do. How dare you boo me?
Well, but there's a couple of things at play. All right? He wasn't booed. The team was booed.
Well, he did block Darren Waller.
No, but I'm
not
saying
what you want, Michael.
This is not like a baseball where they boo you as you come up to the plate, or hockey they boo you when you have the puck, or basketball they boo you when you have the ball. They were leaving at halftime and they were all collectively booed. So it wasn't even a personal attack by the fans. They were booing everybody. I'm sure they were especially booing him. But they were booing the entire team, so it wasn't an individual attack. Calling fans sheep, yeah, I'm sure a lot of athletes feel that way. Doesn't give you the right to articulate it that way, especially when your team has been outscored 64-3 in 2 home games. And you have no resume whatsoever to try to back it up. This is not Giancarlo Stanton getting booed when 5 minutes before, the season before, he hit 59 home runs. So... And the other thing that really bothered me, too, is that if this was said 15 minutes after the game, all right, listen, he's frustrated. The team got embarrassed on national television. It was Wednesday. It was 2 days later. So it wasn't in the heat of the moment. He articulated exactly how he felt. So that's why an apology is wrong, because I think he meant every word that he said.
And the only part of what Dable said that I would disagree with, he called what Neal did a slip-up. That's not a slip-up. Not a slip-up. Slip-up is saying the wrong word. This is thought out. That's the way he feels about the fans. And he was upset. Now, I'm not going to let him get back up. I'm actually becoming a little bit more forgiving in my old age. He said he's sorry. I mean, there's nothing more he could do.
No.
He's throwing himself on the sword. But believe me, everybody, he meant what he said. That wasn't a slip-up. No. He meant what he said. And he was talking for a lot of people, too.
And now
he was very inarticulate in the way he did it, saying the burger flippers and stuff like that. That just took it to another level. But athletes hate when fans boo. Remember Javi Baez and Francisco Lindor? They hate it.
By the way, they got to grow up, man. Because, listen, I'm the first one to tell you, if someone says something truly nasty to you or offensive, when Ron Artest went into the stands, I was cheering. Someone threw a drink at the guy. Go kill him. Honestly, I don't care. It's not my job. But booing is not having something thrown at you, and it's not having someone yell something offensive. It's literally the loud group vocalization of, we don't approve the way of you're doing your job. It's not an offensive thing to do.
When I first started reading the article, and he was talking about boo louder and offended that they booed, I figured this is typical athlete stuff, because Michael's right. They hate being booed. So, and they always give the whole college attitude of, that's not how you support the team. How do you call yourself a Drew Giant fan if you're booing them? Like, all that stuff, it bothers me, but it's not going to get me enraged, because that is how athletes look at it. They think you should be supportive. If you boo, that means you're not really being a true fan. This kid went to Alabama. When has he ever got booed in Alabama? Right? That team wins. We probably won almost every game that he ever played. They're boosters. They're sycophants for their team. They never get booed, because that's the way it is in college. But in the pros, when people are paying the kind of money they're paying, and there's a certain level of expectations when you're a pro, they're going to boo a lot louder than they're going to do in college. I was fine with all that. But we're lions and you're sheep? Burger flippers and hot dog flipper, why did he have to go nuclear? Why couldn't he just say, question the fans' fandom for booing? All right, we can agree to disagree, but Many people were critical of me, and my retort yesterday is taking it personal. I took it personal because it was a personal attack on the fans, calling them sheep, disrespecting what many of them possibly do for a living. Believe me, if you're flipping hamburgers and hot dogs, how much of your salary you're spending going to a game? What, 75% of it? And that's how you deserve to be treated? So he went way, way, way too far than the typical athlete would go.